Four friends, these guys, Jack, Michael, Andrew, and Tom, went to a restaurant and ordered a meal for a total of $80. They agreed to split the bill equally. But it turned out that Tom had forgotten his wallet and couldn't pay anything, and Andrew only had $10 in cash. So, how much must Jack and Michael pony up to cover the entire check? Initially, each person was supposed to pay $80 divided by 4, or $20. But Tom pays nothing, and Andrew can only contribute $10. It means Jack and Michael have to cover $80 minus 10 equals $70. So they have to split this $70 and pay $35 each. Then they show up at Tom's house to collect what's owed them, or he ends up in a trunk. Hey, just kidding. Now, you need to figure out a 5-digit whole number that reads the same forward, backward, and upside down. Its second digit is half of the third one. The fifth digit is the product of the first and the last ones. And the sum of all the digits is 10. You can pause the video to crack this puzzle. This number is 10801. On a freezing cold January day, a man called the police and reported a car accident. A police officer who arrived to investigate had a coughing fit, so the driver opened his car and gave the officer a bottle of water. Then he told the police that he had parked the car near his house the day before. But when he came back the next day, the hood was damaged. The man claimed his neighbor had dropped some ice on his car while cleaning his roof. The neighbor denied these accusations. So, who is lying? The car owner. If his car had been outside for the whole night, the water in the bottle would have frozen. A bank has been robbed. The criminal, wearing a mask, ran outside right into the middle of a festival where many people were dressed exactly the same. How can the police figure out who to chase? The woman on the left is a happy bride, wearing a ridiculously large ring, proudly showing everyone that she's about to marry a wealthy man. The man on the right is an astronaut. He got a tattoo of his mission because he loves his job and misses space. But the woman in the center is suspicious. What's inside that stroller? Well, that baby has a very odd shape. She hid the stolen money under a blanket, hoping no one would question a mother with a stroller. Eric got lost in a museum. While he was trying to find a way out, it got late. All the doors were closed. Finally, he saw 3 staircases. The first one was all covered in bizarre nettles with razor-sharp leaves and long spikes. The second had giant stinking flowers with a stench almost impossible to bear. And the third staircase was an impassable jungle of cacti. Which staircase should Eric choose? He should go down the second staircase. Even though the flowers are gross, hey, they're harmless. David loved mountain climbing, but his mother considered his hobby too dangerous. Once David's friend invited him on a rock climbing trip. David knew his mother would be against it, so he told her he would go fishing at the nearest lake. The woman agreed but asked him to send a photo of him fishing. Hey, not much trust there, huh? Once David arrived at the foot of the mountain, he photoshopped a fishing photo and sent it to his mother. As soon as she saw it, she immediately realized it was a fake. How come? The woman knew it was snowing outside. It meant there had to be snow at the nearest lake, too. Mr. Brown's sons found their dad unconscious on the floor of his office. The detective questioned each of the brothers separately. The eldest, David, said that when he had come in to feed the fish, his father had been fine. Marcus said that he had come in to discuss his business plans, and his father had given him great advice. And Lucas, the youngest, said that he had come to ask his father for his card to impress the girl he liked. The detective immediately realized who was lying. Have you figured it out? David said he had come to feed the fish, and indeed there's an aquarium in the office, but there are no fish in it. Someone got into Matthew's house during a severe rainstorm and took a lot of expensive stuff. The man called the police. They came over and started to interview the neighbors. Nicole said she lived alone and worked from home. She was inside the entire day. Jerry explained he was a chef in an Italian restaurant. He came back from work only a half an hour ago. Sophia told the police officers she hadn't left home because she was ill. Who's the thief? It's Nicole. She claimed she had been inside the entire day, but look at that wet umbrella in the corner. A man had a book that was worth $50,000. There were only 2 such books in existence. He threw the book into the fire, turning it into a pile of soot. Why did he do this? He destroyed the book because he had both copies. After destroying one of them, there was only one left, so its value immediately went up. Detective Adams arrived at the Museum of Modern Music because someone had stolen the legendary shoes that belonged to Elvis Presley. A museum guard told the detective that they had reviewed the footage from security cameras and found out that all the visitors had come in and left empty-handed. Detective Adams examined the footage and said he knew who had stolen the shoes. Have you figured it out? It's the red-headed guy. When he entered the exhibition, he was shorter than the other visitors. But when he was leaving, he was as tall as the others. He must be wearing Elvis's high-heeled shoes. Jacob and his brother Jack were walking along the street. When they passed a grocery store, Jacob pointed at a young woman and said, "Look, my niece is over there." His brother answered, "Oh, right, but it's not my niece." How come? The young woman is Jack's daughter. The faster you run, the harder it is to catch this thing. What is it? It's your breath. Jane lived in Bangkok with her husband Daniel. Once, she told her husband she wanted to visit her aunt living in Poland. Daniel didn't mind, but he asked his wife to send him a photo as soon as she got to Europe. When Helen landed in Warsaw, she sent Daniel a selfie. After looking at the photo, Daniel realized his wife had lied to him. How did he know? In the picture, the clock on the wall shows the same time as the clock in the kitchen, which is in Bangkok. If Jane were in Poland, the clock would show a different time because of the time difference. The best player of a local volleyball team disappeared right before the game. The coach suspected 3 players from the rival team. Jackson said he had just returned from the gym, where he had been warming up before the competition. Leo had to pick up his wife and their newborn daughter from the hospital. And Ryan claimed he'd fractured his leg, and the team doctor gave him a massage. Who's behind the player's disappearance? It's Ryan. Getting a massage when your leg's broken? Doesn't seem like the wisest move to me. Dorothy worked as a maid in a rich family. The woman called the police and accused Dorothy of taking the jewelry. Can you help the girl prove she has nothing to do with the theft? Dorothy was not very attentive while cleaning the house. One of the rings is under the sofa. and the other is in the fruit bowl. Actually, it's the wife who's not attentive, but I digress. When do you look at number 2, but say 10? It happens when you look at your wristwatch. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.